When an avoidant person starts doing certain things around you, it's not just affection, it's trust. And trust of them is rarer than love itself. Most people think avoidants are cold, detached, emotionally unavailable. But that's not the full picture. What looks like distance is actually a protection system built from years of learning that closeness equals pain. Research from the University of Illinois found that avoidant individuals don't lack the capacity for deep connection. They lack the sense of safety required to access it. Their nervous system is wired differently. Where securely attached people feel comfort and intimacy, avoidants feel alarm. I see this with my clients every single day. Someone will come to me confused, hurt, wondering why their avoidant partner pulls away just when things get good. They think it's about them. It's not. It's about survival patterns carved deep into the brain. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly what behaviors signal that an avoidant sees you as more than just another person. You'll know when you cross from acquaintance to safe haven. Because when an avoidant lets you in, even a little, it means they're fighting against every instinct that tells them to run. And that fight, that's love in its rawest form. If you want to recognize when you're truly special to an avoidant, you first have to understand what they're protecting themselves from. Avoidant attachment develops in childhood when a child learns that expressing needs leads to rejection or being seen as a burden. Maybe their parents were emotionally unavailable. Maybe they were punished for crying or told to toughen up when they needed comfort. Maybe love came with conditions, so the child adapts. They learn to shut down their emotional alarm system. They become self-reliant to the point of isolation. Fast forward to adulthood, and that same person now experiences intimacy as a threat. When someone tries to get close, their brain doesn't register safety. It registers suffocation. The key to knowing you're special isn't looking for grand romantic gestures. It's noticing the small, almost invisible shifts. Avoidants don't love loudly. They love quietly, steadily, and cautiously. Avoidants need spacious connection, not overwhelming closeness. Here's what most people get wrong. They think if an avoidant truly cared, they'd change overnight. But that's not how trust is built. Avoidants show love through action, not words. They show it through consistency in a world where they usually disappear. So when an avoidant starts sharing small details about their day without being asked, that's significant. For them, mundane conversation isn't just small talk. It's an invitation into their private world. Avoidants guard their inner life fiercely. They don't let just anyone know what they're thinking or feeling. So if they start texting you about random things, what they had for lunch, a funny thing that happened at work, that's not filler conversation. That's them testing the waters. They're seeing if you'll treat their thoughts with care, or if you'll demand more than they're ready to give. Another powerful sign is when they stop editing themselves around you. Avoidants are masters of control. They carefully curate what you see, keeping anything messy or vulnerable locked away. But when you become special, the mask starts to crack. They might let you see them frustrated, tired, or uncertain. A study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that avoidants selectively reveal vulnerability only to people they've deeply assessed as safe over extended periods. This process can take months, even years. So if they complain to you about something, if they admit they're struggling, if they show up looking less than perfect, pay attention. That's not carelessness. That's trust in its purest form. They're testing whether you'll use their vulnerability against them or hold it gently. Every time you respond without judgment, without trying to fix them, you're rewiring their belief system. You're proving that closeness doesn't have to hurt. Physical proximity is another major indicator. Avoidants need space. It's biological. Their nervous system requires distance to regulate emotions. But when you're special, they start choosing to be near you even when they don't have to. They'll sit closer on the couch. They'll initiate casual touch, a hand on your shoulder, playing with your hair, small moments of physical connection that they control. This is huge because for avoidants, physical touch can feel invasive. It can trigger that engulfment fear. So when they reach for you first, it means they're overriding their instinct to maintain distance. They're actively choosing connection over safety. And that choice costs them something emotionally. The fact that they're willing to do that for you, that's how you know you matter. Here's something most people miss entirely. Avoidants will start including you in their future plans, but in subtle ways. They won't make grand declarations. Instead, they'll mention a concert 3 months away and casually ask if you want to go. They'll talk about a trip they're planning and leave space for you in it. This is their way of testing commitment, without the pressure of labels. They're checking if you're someone they can imagine in their future, without having to define what that future looks like. For them, even thinking about tomorrow with another person is significant. They live in the present as a defense mechanism. Planning ahead means admitting someone matters. So when they do it, even in small ways, it's a declaration. Just not the kind most people recognize as meaningful. Consistency is everything with avoidance. They test you constantly, often without realizing it. They'll pull back to see if you'll chase desperately. They'll go quiet to see if you'll panic. Every time you respond with calm patience instead of anxiety or anger, you pass the test. And here's what happens over time. They start to relax around you. The walls come down inch by inch. The time between their withdrawals gets longer. The depth of their sharing gets deeper. They begin to associate you with peace instead of pressure. According to attachment research, avoidants are hypervigilant to signs of control or neediness, but they're equally attentive to signs of stability and respect. When you consistently show up without demanding they show up in ways that don't feel natural to them, something fundamental shifts. They stop seeing you as a threat to their autonomy. They start seeing you as a refuge. And that's when the real intimacy begins. Not the kind built on passion and intensity, but the kind built on trust and safety. The kind that actually lasts through storms. Let's be honest about something important. Recognizing these signs doesn't mean the relationship will be easy. If you crave constant reassurance, daily expressions of love, and deep emotional conversations, loving an avoidant will challenge every part of you. And it should, because love is not about changing someone to meet your needs perfectly. It's about deciding whether the way they love is enough for your heart. So before you invest deeply, ask yourself hard questions. Do I feel valued in this dynamic? Am I thriving or constantly waiting for crumbs of affection? Can I respect their pace without losing myself? Safety and fulfillment go both ways. The most powerful thing you can do for them and yourself is to choose mutual growth and respect, not just one-sided sacrifice. Ironically, when you stop desperately trying to decode every action and instead focus on being emotionally grounded and secure in yourself, they become more drawn to you naturally, because now you're no longer a threat to their independence. You become a partner, not a pursuer constantly seeking validation. And in that stillness, something beautiful happens. They begin to choose you, not because they have to, not because you convince them, but because they genuinely want to. That's the secret to being special to an avoidant. Make connection feel like a choice they're empowered to make, not an obligation they're trapped in. So if you're on this journey with an avoidant person, take heart. Progress might be slow, barely noticeable some days, but it is real when you know what to look for. The avoidant may never become the most expressive lover who writes you letters and proclaims feelings from rooftops. But if they see you as special, if they trust you deeply, their loyalty will run deeper than words ever could. Their love will be quiet, steady, and honest in ways that loud passion never achieves. And in a world full of empty promises, that kind of love is genuinely rare. So watch for the small signs, the quiet choices, the subtle shifts. Love them from a place of strength and security. Let them come closer not out of fear of losing you, but out of trust in being with you. If this video helped you understand avoidant attachment better, I invite you to pause and reflect on your own emotional needs too. Recognizing when you're special to someone else starts with knowing your own worth first. Remember, real love isn't about chasing, fixing, or constantly proving yourself. It's about showing up calmly, consistently, and authentically as yourself. If you're navigating a relationship with an avoidant partner, stay patient with the process. Stay grounded in your own value. And most of all, stay true to who you are. Because the moment you stop trying to be chosen and start choosing your own peace first, everything shifts into clarity. If you found value here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more insights on attachment and relationships, and hit that bell so you never miss content that helps you grow. And if you're navigating a relationship that feels confusing or emotionally complex, drop a comment below. I read every single one, and you're never alone on this path of understanding love. Thank you for watching, and remember, being special to someone isn't about grand gestures. It's about the quiet moments when they choose you again and again.